wondering why I don't see any text going on or anything like that. No, it's- Yasmin Tiexeria, Era de Trujillo, Bienvenudo, Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Ad Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Warmatullahi Wa Barakatuh, Goktu Gadanali, Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Ad Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Warmatullahi Wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this message. It's time for a party. I want to thank you all for being here. Teda, Shukran. I see you out today. I know there's a lot of noise going on in the background. There's a guy across the street. He's cutting grass. I might move on in a little while. Yeah, that's going to change up at a day. You might see 18 people. You might see 9. You might see 2. That's what you see. However, once this gets posted, there's no telling how many people are going to see it. Tony Cranley, thank you for the compliment. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Do not know what BOMR is. The more I think about it, the more we might change locations just so we can go where it's quiet. This broadcast today probably won't be on for very long. However, yes, we do have an agenda. Whenever I come before you, there's a message. I'm not here just to talk. We get together Sunday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. Go to them. Having a great day. He asked how I'm doing. Having a great day. 6 feet above the ground. Breathing and blessed. Having a great day. Come to you through the authority of Yahweh Elohim. Some know him as Allah. There is only one. That's who I serve. And that's what this is about. Ak Yasav, I see you. Minister Yasav, I see you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. It's very tabah to have you here. Familiar name and familiar face. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That goes to everyone here as well. So yeah, I believe we will be picking up in just a moment so that I can go travel. Ak Stephen, I see you. Minister Stephen, it's very tabah to have you here. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Jessica Stevens, I see you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this message. Today's party, yes, it's a question and answer session. But I'm going to come with some kind of message, right? The question and answer would be, let's review what we've been talking about for the past week. We get together at 4 p.m. to discuss ethics and entrepreneurship. And in order to do so, we have 10 different special interest groups to talk about. We have spoken about 5 of them. We started on Monday, made it up to Friday. We spoke on 5 special interest groups. Highest Heights Studio, Mafia Soy Publications, and 1, 2, 3 more. Riley Barkley, Don De Hum, that's 4. Yashavai Hamashia, The Student's Black Book. If Yahashivai is our Messiah, the best thing we could possibly do in life is make sure we are in the book associated with him. AI says the host is answering questions about entrepreneurship. Ask about your business. Great work, AI and TikTok. Sometimes AI gets it right. Now, the reason why I'm making that announcement is because while I'm doing the live on YouTube, there's also one going on TikTok. TikTok likes to give you a couple of helpful hints as you go along. So right now, it's just reminding me of what I've spoken on. We have an outline. We have a message. We have a reason to be here. Meanwhile, back to Jessica Stevens. Why, hello, Lord Corley's. I don't even know who Lord Corley's is. And that's the reason why I greeted you the way that I did. You all ready for this? Whether you are or you're not, I'm here. And I'm not going to sit around and wait for you. My mission is to deliver the message. So, there's this live session, which is being recorded and shall be posted later via YouTube to where everybody has access to it. Started up this practice last year. I'm not here to debate with anybody. I'm not here to argue. I'm a messenger. Someone accused me of having a God complex. I have never told anybody I'm a deity. I'm a complex man. Why would I need to tell you I'm a deity? That's enough. Yeah, let that simmer. Yeah, we've started. On the thumbnail for this broadcast, it says E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. I got this particular one from a brother named Wilayan Casimir. He's on TikTok. Please go follow him. QWERTY272K. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. I got a smile on my face. You know why? Sometimes we are interacting with robot accounts. I have a question from QWERTY asking me if I'm pregnant. What part of me looks like I could possibly get pregnant? Now, some would get distracted and they want to tell you about how they're pregnant with the word and they received a seed and so on and so forth. Now, no. If I have a seed, whether it's in my brain or if it's in my hand, I'm going to go plant it. If I have a seed in my brain from some message that's If I have a seed in my brain from a message that someone else sent, it's going to cook for a moment, then I'm going to pass it on. We got quite a few messages coming in over here on YouTube land. You all give me just a moment. Trying to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about. Okay. So, like I said, we got some noise in the background. So we will probably pick up and move very soon. I mean, I know this guy will be done. He's in the front yard now, but then he's got the backyard. Sound is sound. Which takes me to the next thing. Unity of sand over kiln's heat. That's not just a picture. That's not just an alliteration. That's not just a metaphor. It's something for you to really think about. Unity of sand over kiln's heat. I told you I'm a complex man. There's an equation for you. So, let's see here. One more thing. A silent mind can still be sound. All right. Now, we have unlimited. We have user 60697350631 in TikTok land. Ashim Yahavalahim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That goes for you all and everybody else that's here. Now, I'm going to address the questions that have been over here in YouTube land. Probably stall you out for about 5 more minutes, and then we're taking a walk. AI summary. An entrepreneur is answering questions on business. Yes. We get together 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday, to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. Safaria, Tama, I see you. Baby doll, I see you. Ashim Yahavalahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. All right, so let's see here. QWERTY 272K, 272,000 what? QWERTY, if you all don't know what QWERTY is, that means that you type with a certain system. Top row keys are QWERTY on the keyboard. QWERTY wants to know, why are you so old? Because I came to this planet in the Greco-Caesar Roman calendar year of 1976. If you consider that old, well, you got a ways to go. Because according to lineage, I'm actually 120 years old. And that's not old doubling my age because they used to count differently. No. I'm 120 years old because I'm carrying a lineage. It's not about my name. I come in the shem of someone else who comes in the shem of our Father. Let it sink in. You want to ask me how old I am? Would you rather I'm sitting here with a baby face looking like I'm 10 years old telling you how to have ethics in entrepreneurship? You think about it. And then QWERTY says, my seed. You can tell when someone's only picking up a piece of what you say. I spoke whole sentences. So if that's what you're getting out of it, that's on you. That's your perception. Gabriela Azuncena Corobomart. Bienvenido. Ashim Yahavalahim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, Gabriela. Bienvenido, welcome. I've made an announcement before which lets you know the reason why I even do these live broadcasts. I have an enemy named ignorance. Not some dude walking up and down the street. No, ignorance affects that man, that woman, that child going up and down the street. Oh, by the way, Gabriella did leave a comment. Let me count them zeros. 1 million, no commas, and then a dollar sign. Great. I have a second enemy. That enemy's name is miasma, also known as indifference. You see, it takes a sharp, sound mind to be able to gather information and then have the wherewithal to come to other people and present the information on a palate which another person would find tasty enough to actually consume, take home, and share that soulful moment. You ever have a craving for soul food? You can only eat so many calories. You have a mind, you have a body, and you have a soul. So what kind of calories does your soul consume? What kind of calories does your mind consume? PHBUIDERMENFAN. Hashem Yahav Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. When you get done with all of those letters, characters, whatever, I greet you with peace. This is the question that the individual is asking me. What happened to you? I hope Jesus can help you. No, Jesus cannot help me. I am a student of Yahashua HaMashiach, not Jesus. I don't need half man, half Zeus to show me salvation. As a matter of fact, those who are trying to rock with half man, half Zeus, that's most of the problem why you are not seeing salvation. It's the main reason why. If you're going to call upon an authority, you call upon the correct name. Because if you call me out of my name, I'm going to keep walking. You will be ignored. If you try to whistle at me, you are not going to like the pit bull that shows up asking you what you want. Because then you're trying to speak to me in the language of dogs. So you don't want to show up talking to me as if I were a dog. I'm not a dog. I'm not a wolf. Do you know where pit bulls come from? They took two dogs, put them in a pit. They were either going to fight or they were going to procreate. So if you taunt me, you're already asking for a certain response. So we have event, and then we have response, which gives you your outcome. See, I've given you two different equations today. And one of them can gain strength according to how you act from the first one. Dougie Fresh, I see you. Hashem Yahav Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. PHBUIDERMENFAN. Still here? I mean, Jesus is our Savior. Okay, let me help you out. Number one, You're messing up between a verb and a pronoun. Because right now you just gave me two verbs. Jesus is, Isarer, Savior. No, maybe for you, not for me. I come from the original plan, standard, outcome. That's where I come from. I'm not here to make friends or even be patient with people outside of the standard. No. My patience has worn thin because I've been on this planet long enough. I don't have to be patient with you. I'm patient with the people around because everything is a test. Everything is actually a learning moment. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. And it all depends on we say that E is, E plus R equals O. I've forgotten that quickly, and maybe that's a Tabar thing. No, just look it up. Gonna stall you out for a second on TikTok. I'll be right back. I want to look at this picture. Oh, I remember now, right before the picture even came up. Yes. I remembered right before the picture came up and flashed on my screen. Event. 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 Putting those characters together so if you didn't hear me enunciate it, you still know the word. Event plus response equals outcome. So the event is when a stimulus is planted, a seed. That's the event. It could be an event that you put in place. Or the event could be someone's response. Because even though you've come and you've placed this seed, this stimulus, this idea, this message. Well, I'm turning off the Bluetooth.
Off.
Even though you have delivered the message, it's up to the other person to receive it. It's up to the other person to conceive it. It's up to the other person to use it. I see you. Gail Monk, I see you. Sonia Harris, I see you. Hashim Yahab Alahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Warahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Tada. Shukran. Gracias. Grazie. Spasibo. Thank you for being here. Ashante. If a person wants to remain ignorant about an event, there's a course of responses that will happen with that. They can either respond in a negative way, a positive way, or just be neutral and not say anything. So there's 3 branches right there. Now there's a multitude of things that can happen just out of those 3 branches. Each of them. That's why I enjoy tuning into Will.i.am Casimir. To be honest with you, he focuses mainly on consulting men. However, the things that he says goes across the board. Something we are experiencing right now is the division of genres. You know, your lifestyle is also broken into a genre just as much as the music, the literature, the art that you look at. All that stuff's broken down into genres. And so is your lifestyle. There's this big, huge to do about people choosing their sexuality. It's a genre. Who are you going to be when you grow up? Simply said, I see you. Familiar name and familiar face. It's very tabah to have you here. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you. You, your family, and your circle. That's for you. And then also for everybody here. I like to watch Will.i.am Casimir for that specific reason. He's gone through life. He made life choices. And while making those life choices, he was also heavy understudy. Go research this. Go research that. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Document what did happen. And then figure out what you're going to do about it in any other situation that you come across. There's a big thing going on right now about people being narcissists. That's the buzzword. Everybody all of a sudden has a psychology degree and they want to tell you who's a narcissist. I'm not here to define narcissism. I'm just letting you know that there are all kinds of psychosis. Everybody wants to focus on one. I'm not here to be popular. The defining line is, are you driven by your ego or are you driven by empathy? Ruda Davud, I see you. Shimmy Havalahim, Shalom Barak. Not real sweetness. Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who's catching this message. We have E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. So why am I talking about narcissism and egos and all that kind of thing? If you are ego driven and an event happens, you're going to be driven by your ego, which is not where you're going to find wisdom. We're born with an ego. Your ego tells you, feed me, comfort me, clean me up when I mess myself. That's your ego. We are born with an ego. That ego is shaped, trained, reduced, or increased according to parents, environment, and self. I don't want to jump all the way across a canyon to get on a subject. However, I need to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the meal. We're not here to sip on water and ice cubes. We're not here to sip on some thin broth. I'm here to give you some soul food. See, AI wants to say now it's a Q&A session on narcissism and ego-driven behavior. No, you are incorrect, AI. We are here because we're discussing ethics in entrepreneurship. If you know what an entrepreneur is, you would know that's a business person, someone who conducts things in order to gather finances to support their livelihood. And they are self accountable because they are the sole proprietor. Step one. You could become an LLC and still be an entrepreneur. Now, once you get to the point of going corporate, even if you're the corporate head, you are no longer an entrepreneur. With an LLC, you are giving your personage to the name of an asset. So you're already taking your self accountability out. Now it's I run that ship. Now, whatever happens with that ship, and even if it happens to sink, that's that ship and the ship sinks. I will be over here. That's the difference between a sole proprietor and one who has an LLC, and then one who chooses the corporate route. Because if you're a sole proprietor and your ship is going down, the captain goes down with the ship. Let that simmer. Asil KHJ. Hashem Yahavalahim. Shalom Barak. Daughter of the stops there. Myrtle Beach Angel. It stops. Sarfaraz Masih. Gloria Wright. See. Hashem Yahavalahim. Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Warahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I don't really want to jump all the way across a valley just to get to a point. So we're building to it. A valley, a chasm, a dividing line, a boundary. It will take a lot of effort to get from one side of that valley to the other. And I just made it sound like it's just so easy. I'm just going to jump from one side to the other. Imagine the Grand Canyon. Yeah, I'm just going to jump from one side to the other to conduct some business. Cook, Tominguav. Bienvenuto. Hashem Yahavalahim. Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Warahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. Welcome. That's for everybody here. And I just figured out how to take those 3 steps that I need for that jump. We're going back to Adam and Eve. I was listening to my brother teaching earlier today. I want to share something with you all. There were certain gifts that were given to Adam that angels did not possess, that the fauna, the creatures of earth do not possess. One of them is choice. The moment that Adam was formed, he was given the gift of choice. Adam has knowledge enough to recognize the flora, the plants, the fauna, the animals, how they act, what they do, what it takes to survive. And most importantly, Adam has knowledge of his creator. Let's dig in. Everybody wants to talk about knowledge means intimate. Not always. Go look up knowledge. Go look it up in the Greek terms, then go look it up in the Avra terms, not modern Hebrew. No, go look it up in Proto-Canaan terms. Because to be honest with you, in modern Hebrew, I could say yada yada. And y'all would think, oh, ha, 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 he's just talking gibberish. We know what that means. That just means, well, you just supplant something right there. No. Yada yada. It's a slang way of saying knowing somebody. And it doesn't mean I recognize my brother. No. It means to procreate. Now let's look at something. Yah, which comes from, what's the word, people? What's the character, people? Some of you would say Yahud. Some of you would say Yavad. Some of you would say the outstretched hand from our Father, Abba, Yah. And then we have Da, which is door. So if a person says yada yada, you could take it as our Father's door, our Father reaching his hand through to help someone through the door, or you could corrupt it. The same way that character in origins is Yah, Va, Da. Yod, Yavada. Well, there is another term out there. There's another name. There's another authority that would go with the same thing. And I'll tell you right now, I will stick my chest out, stick my chin up, and no, you can't come close to my neck because I protect it. And I will tell you, I am all Yahavada no ish. Try to play with me if you want to, because I've already told you, I don't play with other people's children. So let's go back to choice. You see, the angels were instructed that they needed to bow down to Adam. One angel said, well, why would I want to do that knowing there's all kinds of iniquities that can come out of mankind? Well, we're not talking about mankind. We're talking about Adam. He still didn't want to bow down. Angels don't have choice. There's not a new soul that just got created a moment ago. All souls were already created. All angels were already created. At the moment where all of that went on, let there be light, let there be this, let there be that, let the lands rise up out of the water, let the creatures creep, crawl, fly. While all that was going on, everything was created then. And then everything is released at the moment it's supposed to be there. So these souls of mankind hanging out in heaven the whole time with our Creator. Because at that point, they are not blemished. They have not had any kind of experience in life and flesh. They are just a soul. They are not a mind, a body, and a soul. They have not gone through the testing process. They have not been molded into a vessel. They are waiting to be poured into a vessel. Adam was fashioned as a vessel for a specific purpose. As a matter of fact, if you read your script, it'll tell you. When he was formed outside of the garden. Some of us in these rooms have a common teacher. You see, I don't exclude anybody just because I might disagree with them. If you teach me something, I'm gonna ride with it, and I'll even tell people I got that from that person over there. Throughout all my life, till about 5 or 6 years ago, I haven't opened up a Bible that actually had characters in it telling me that here's some instructions for you. Till I ran across Kohelet Kofi 040. And he said, when you look at Psalms 119, there are characters there. Well, let me go find this script where I do have the characters right along with it. That would be excellent. You see, I've studied both the Bible and the Quran. I've studied quite a few different religious scriptures and texts, especially if they're all supposed to come from the same root and the same family. I want to know what it says. That way, if a person is coming to me from one perspective, I know what it is. I can respect that. I can speak with them. And if a person comes from over here, I know where they're coming from. I can speak with them. We can share perspective, whether we agree or not. That's studying. When you come across something, whether you are fully immersed in it and you know everything there is to know about it, even then, go look beyond the subject that you're looking at right now. Go look beyond that example that is given to you right now. You need to go and look and find where somebody else agrees with that example. You need to go and look and find where somebody disagrees with that example. Then you need to go and find somebody that even says, you know what, that whole principle is ludicrous. You take it all in and then you go back to the origins. You go back to the origins, the principles, to find out if out of those three stimulus, which one actually rides with the original standard. D. Carmel Drop, Maya Totes, Anna Jordan, Ramona Robinson, Loretta Jones, Blue Flowers, Josie 192300, Sandy Mo, Half Pint. Oh, wait, what was that? Bogoslava, Bojisi. Hashem Yahavalaim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Yes, see, I've jumped over that valley to get to the meat and the potatoes, because we're talking about an event plus the response gives you an outcome. Response, reaction. Mama Quail, Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That's for everybody that's here. Thank you for being here. Tada. Shukran. Grazie. Grazie, grazie. Spasibo. Shante. Thank you. Who knows about innocence? Who knows about being naive? You see, innocence and being naive is not the same as ignorance and indifference. I knew you even when you were being formed in the womb. When an infant has gone through the birthing process, made it outside, passed through the birth canal, made it outside, taking a breath of air on this end instead of through the placenta, making its voice heard, because whether y'all realize it or not, who's to say that that embryo isn't gurgling amniotic fluid? I can tell you for sure, out of my progeny, they were very lively. If you step from in the house to outside, they were going to let you know, oh, I can feel the difference. Now, what am I saying? Yes, I have progeny. Yes, there are children who look at me as their father. I watched them grow in the womb. I watched them as they came out of the canal and they landed in my hands. If you left out of a house and went outside, and really all I'm saying is the mother of my children, we got married because we got married. Do you understand? Do you understand? We got married because we got married. We sat and we talked about it. We discussed our future. While we were sitting there discussing our future, we were discussing what we had in common. We were driven by a certain standard. Now, my progeny, even though they could tell you that they just went from inside of a structure to outside, they were in the womb the whole time. We have some Russian, Poland, Ukraine characters. So I would not be able to tell you what your name is. However, I do welcome you. Thank you for being here. Spasibo. Shem Yahava Alahim. Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. If they call Al Kebulan the motherland, you call Asia the fatherland. Jonathan Collins, I see you. Hashem Yahava Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Cole, it's been a while. It's very tabah to see you. Familiar name and face. Hashem Yahava Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you know, brother, there's always some kind of project that's on deck. And yes, we found a new way to get ourselves into some stores. And yes, your album that you have dedicated and gave, entitled For Yahweh, we'll get that back out there. Dawn willing. That's the mission that I'm on. See, even if you don't see me in front of your face like this, I have plenty of things that I'm already doing all day. I represent 10 special interest groups plus some individuals. I represent the will of Yahweh Elohim. So, a child, while in the womb, if the mother's playing music and the mother is enjoying the music, and even if it's just headphones, because I've seen this happen. Come here, put your hand right there. Yeah, I feel that. He's jumping, kicking, doing all kinds of stuff, you know? I bet you're playing your favorite song, aren't you? Yes, I am. And that was for the both of them. They both like music. My progeny. They like different types of music, though. They're not the same. I could walk into the house after doing a double shift at a restaurant all day, come home, walk through the door. First thing I hear is, oh! Because they were flipping and kicking. No, they're not twins. They were born at separate times. However, both of them had that activity. They were lively babies. Oh, because they heard me come in. They felt the emotional change. The hormones were fed to them through their mother to let them know that I had come into the room. They already knew I was there because she heard when the vehicle pulled up. She heard when the door was opening. They already knew I was there. And then I come into the room and speak. They hear me. Here's an experiment for you. Go find a pair of leather pants, leather jacket, wrap it around your head, then have somebody come over here and whisper to you. See if you can still hear it. Yes. Bruce Burry, Kuva, 576, Margie Mayhill, Hashem Yahab Elohim, Shalom Barak. Y'all's daughter, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. High Desert Faye, I see you. Soy Chopin, I see you. You are Chopin? Really? High Desert Field Notes, there it is. Hi there. Welcome, bienvenido. When a child is born into this world, they are naive. They know what their parents have exposed them to. When Adam was formed and shaped, he was fully grown and mature when he was placed in the garden, where he began to receive instruction. We're not going to go into the who's and the how's and all of that. I'll tell you this. There were some other people that were already there who were outside of the garden. He didn't just pop up into existence all by himself. There were already other people outside of the garden. Who's to say who was able to come in and out of the garden? Because that wasn't established until after Adam and Eve disobeyed Yahweh Elohim. There was no gate with an angel that had a blazing sword, double-edged, ready to consume the life of anyone who approached. Well, that wasn't mentioned until after the fact, which means that the garden was open. Now, why is it that Adam was receiving instructions from the Holy Spirit, Ravak HaKadosh, during the cool of the day? Those instructions were standards. This is what's expected. Anyone who comes into this garden, you will tell them about these standards. This is how you are supposed to conduct yourself through life. AD Fitness. I'm a real literal person. B1G Mac, Big Mac. Savannah Fowler, Mew, Barbie. Hashem Yahab Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you all. Give me just a second. Yo tengo triste. Café. When all that was established, we've gotten to the point in the broadcast where TikTok wants to check and make sure that I'm human. Live will end in 4 minutes and 57 seconds. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification to continue your current live. Great. I don't even know how the signal is doing because everything's buffering. That's the reason why I'm not relaying any information right now. It buffers so bad that when you try to slide this little puzzle piece over to fit in a slot, it's stalling. So by the time you get it to where it's supposed to be and you lift your finger, it doesn't match. Now I know I just put it in the right spot and it says that I didn't. This is ridiculous. Green check. Awesome. Still going. Michael Tompkin. Osman. See you back, Art. I want you to catch something I'm saying, Art. Adam and Eve were naive. They already had the gift of choice. That's the reason why it's a very important story that an angel refused to bow down when commanded to do so. Ask the question, why are you telling me to bow down to someone who's basically a tool that can cause a lot of chaos and destruction? Doesn't say if that particular angel ever did finally bow down. It just says that at that moment, no. I want to know why you're putting man over angels. We're going and doing your will and your bidding all the time. Why would you give dominion to such a creature? So Yahweh responded to the angel. Adam has the gift of choice. Adam has the knowledge to observe the plants and the animals, to know what it is that they need and care for them. Adam can mold and shape, can use thoughts here in order to construct something over there with the materials presented in front of him. It might look like one way, however, Adam can shape that and form it into something else. Whereas with you, angels, when I tell you to do something, you go forth and do it. Can't give the messenger dominion over all creation. When the messenger is there to aid the one who has been instructed all manners of perception in order to navigate through creation. Adam and Eve were naive. We call it the tree of Tabah and evil, Tabah and haram. AI summary, religious Q&A on the story of Adam and Eve. No AI, no. We're still talking about ethics and entrepreneurship. Sarah Blackwell, holy girl, period, dot. I think I said maybe. User 17986672418. Ashim Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. So, what do you mean Adam and Eve were naive? They were being taught the standards and how to conduct themselves on a righteous, divine path. And as long as they were righteous and divine, they had all access to everything in the garden except for one tree. Now, why wouldn't they need to know the difference between what is tabah and what is haram, what is good, what is evil? Why would they need to know that? Who told you you were naked? You see, if there were already people outside of the garden and sometimes coming in and visiting the garden, they're going to meet the caretaker, the gardener who was placed there. And when they do, that gardener is going to tell them, these are the standards in order for you to be in here. I have to follow those standards, so you do too. But what if somebody comes along who isn't quite so naive of the ways of society, comes in and wants to introduce them into some things that happen outside of the garden? What if a person comes along and wants to introduce Adam and Eve to things that are outside of the standards of the garden? Other ways to walk. Expose their naivety. Did you know about such and such? No, we weren't instructed of that. What about this? What about that? You'll see a similar scenario later on, when people had to only consume quail and manna in the water from the springs as they came across them. Well, here we are. You're given all the sustenance that you need. However, you will be tested. And you can come out of it innocent, naive, still on a divine path, or you can experience something that was held in the darkness. That doesn't mean that the sun was not in the sky and the moon was up, or not even the moon. Maybe the stars are out. You didn't know. Darkness means that you are without light, without clarity, without knowledge. What's done in the darkness must come to the light. Think all evil deeds are done at night? There's a reason why I don't have a job. There's a lot of evil that goes on at jobs. And they prefer that you work during the daytime. Some would have a night shift. Even that midnight shift has a crazy name to it. Been through those walks. Yes, I've had a job. Yes, I have toiled before. And the whole time telling people, no, this is not how I work. You're about to see some results of what I do when I put myself to task. But no, it's not what I was called to do. You're actually paying me to work out. You know, you're paying me to keep my body moving so that my muscles don't seize up and shrink. Thanks. You're paying me so that I can go put some calories in my body later. Thanks. You're paying me so that I can be of service to somebody else. You're paying me because I need to be of service to someone else. When you see me stop and pause, it's because the screen flashed. It don't matter which side it's on, I'm going to do that for your benefit right now. In the live, if it flashes, it means you might not have caught what I said. However, in the playback, most times it actually does play back clear to where the jump isn't there. Got some new visitors in the room. Each one teach one. Ermelinda C. Wama TVL. Kariati. Miss Thiz. Hashem Yahavalahim. Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. War Matalahi War Barakat. My Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. We've reached the hour mark. It's been an hour and 6 minutes. Maya Munster, Lily, Big May Brown, OG or Unk, Mafiosa, Bienvenuto, Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, War Matalahi War Barakat. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Janice Marshall, thank you for being here. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That's for you and Carolyn Brown and everybody else here. Has anybody ever told you that Adam and Eve were naive? A child doesn't come out the womb corrupted. They have to be exposed to corruption. A child is brought up with love from the moment of conception in the right or righteous environment. Tony McLaw, Akati Mavis, I see you. Familiar name and face. Very glad to have you here. Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, War Matalahi War Barakat. Made it just in time. We've been on for about an hour. Might have another 20 or 30 minutes in me to close this out. I didn't mean to be on here for very long today. Because as I said Friday, if you don't come on here asking me questions, I'm subject to play some music and bounce. Unless I have a message and I'm going to deliver that message and then I'm going to bounce. Which is the case. So here we go. We're looking at two equations. The first one, event plus response, reaction, equals outcome. If an event happens, it's depending on your response how the outcome will be. Remember those three branches? Yes, no, neutral. And out of each one of those, more branches. So even off of that first choice, if you're going to respond, how you're going to respond, will decide the outcome. Kia, see you. Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, War Matalahi War Barakat. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. That's everybody here. Judy Bostick, including you. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. Thank you for being here. Yes, Adam and Eve had a choice. Shall we eat of the fruit? Eve ate it first. Took it back to her husband. Here, eat this. We were told not to eat this. It's all right. And then so went the course. To the point where, yes, they were actually forgiven. They had to go through a moment of separation and fasting. Eve, you go stand over in that river. Adam, you go stand over in that river. Stand in the river throughout the day. Do not come out of the river until the sun is not in the sky. Then you can come over to the banks of the river and find some food. Now, if you've been given a task and you disobey in the task, well, I don't know that you disobeyed until I show up and you're not there in the task. In which case, I'm going to show up at that site and say, well, where are you? Because you're not here. Now I got to go find you. Now I got to call out for you. Where are you? Because you're supposed to be on assignment. You got a task. Where are you? Why would you hide? Unless you've done something outside of the standard I've already told you to do. Cindy Green, Evelyn Martinez, Yaki Queen, bienvenido. Hashem Yahavalahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this message. I'm going to wrap this up because we have two equations that we're working with. The first one I got from a brother named Wilayan Casimir. He says, an event plus a response equals the outcome. And the second equation, unity of sand over kiln's heat. So, the angels were told Adam has the gift of choice. Adam can think, Adam can categorize, Adam has memory. In order for you to have memory, you have to be put on a timeline so that you know what happened before, what happened in the present, and what could possibly happen in the future until you get to that point, and then it's the present. Adam had a concept of time. Angels were outside of time because they were created within eternity already. Your soul was created outside of time. It was already in eternity already. Your soul is the same match and makeup as the angels. It takes being put in the vessel of a body and then given the gift of a mind which can process information and then apply it. That's the gifts that were given to mankind. Out of those choices that you can make, you can decide to be on the divine path and put forth all your effort and will into that. Or you can have a choice at any given moment to do something outside of the will of Adon. Well, who is Adon? Adon is the Lord of all worlds. All of them. Why? Because he made all of them. Elohim, Lord of all worlds. Yahweh, creator of all. So, you got the one who made it. Everything belongs to him. So this is the will that we're supposed to follow. The one who created everything, set it all into balance, and owns everything. So anything outside of that is outside the will of Yahweh Elohim. Then we have an issue. Adam and Eve violated twice. That's why they were told, you're going to have to go to the other side of the gates of this garden. It's going to be an angel that's not even going to let you back in. You ever read a script somewhere that says that those gifts were stripped and taken away. Minister Morel, I see you. It's very Tabah to have you here. Familiar name and face. Many much love and respect. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ak Morel. Tanya Jordan. Kish Kasht. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you, your families, and your circles. Thank you for being here. Ak Morel, when you have free time, please reach out to me so that we may have a conversation, whether it's in text or we actually get a chance to talk. I'd just like to speak with you. Damien, I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Even after leaving the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve still had their mission statement. That didn't change. Why do you think Cain was like, look, I spilled my brother's blood on the ground and the rocks and everything else is crying out about it. You telling me I gotta leave? Talking to you, Howard. You telling me I gotta leave and go out amongst the people? Well, what do you think is gonna happen when they hear about what happened? If the ground and the stones itself is crying out about it, they heard. The people heard. I'm gonna put a mark on you. I'm gonna give you a tar. Okay? That way the people will know. Don't touch him. Because he's also part of the story. So when Adam and Eve left the garden, the same people who had been coming to the garden to be taught what Adam had been taught from Ravak HaKadesh, still when they walked up on Adam and Eve, they were still going to be taught. Now Adam and Eve were going to have to toil in the soil just like everybody else instead of reaping the benefits of what was just growing. They had to go toil with everybody else. Marion Y. Debo. Hashem Yahav Alahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Thank you for being here. Choices. Adam was given a choice. The birds are going to be birds. You're not going to look up one day and see a robin has built a condominium. A robin will build a nest. An eagle will build a pyre. You're not going to see Baltic Avenue or Park Place in a tree unless a human made the choice to build it and put it there for the birds. You're not going to see a bear trying to act like a daffodil. A bear will be a bear. That daffodil is going to spring up and do what it's supposed to do during its particular season. Let's play with puns. Choices. That's what separates Adam from all other creation. He had a choice. So in that choice, after the story of Cain and Abel, he and his wife had another child. Had a child named Sot. And the next thing you know, we have a lineage. Nobody had to write it down. They could have just passed that along. Dad, where did I come from? But when a mommy and a daddy like each other, so we went from Adam and Eve, and then there's even Cain and Abel, and then there's Seth. Then we got Enoch, got Methuselah, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Joshua, Aaron, Jacob, Israel, David, Solomon, Joseph, Elijah, Elisha, then Mary and Joseph again, just a different Joseph. And that's where we get to unity of sand over the kiln's heat. Because I remember this story where 3 people got thrown into the belly of a torture chamber, set it on fire, increased the heat, put them inside of it. See how long you can last while we're burning the soles of your feet and cooking your flesh with this intense heat, and how long can you take the suffocation of the smoke? 3 went in. There was the image of a 4th there as well, a 4th personage. You know what it takes to really have protection? Who is your wali? Who is your protector? You know what it really takes to have protection and security? Well, you would have to be assisted by the one who made everything. Yahweh gives you a door. Yahweh God. The only way you're getting in or out of a scenario is through the will of Yahweh. Then you have a choice. Do I want to walk with the will of Yahweh, or do I think I can get out of this mess on my own? Because yes, you can make that choice. Oh, I'll get out of it. I got myself into it. I get myself out. Okay, ego. See, that's where we started at with this broadcast. Ego. When you deny your ego, then you go with the will of the original, not yours, not your will. Your ego wants the tastiest treats. See, one of the sons of Israel was known for baking and cooking tasty treats. We have tasty cakes today. Well, there were pastries back in the day. There were morsels to eat. And one of the sons of Israel was known for producing such things. To the point where that son was given a warning. Same thing that you're known for will be the same thing that'll be your downfall. Unity of sand over the kiln's heat. Now, if there's one thing that we can find on this earth, it's earth. There's all kinds of grains of dirt, dust, sand, grit, sediment. Some would tell you that you could take a clump of sand, heat it up, and you can melt it down and blow some glass. That's not all the way true. There are certain particles that you're looking for, particulates in this sand, certain mineral deposits that are going to be the cohesive factors to connect those grains to where they're fused together after they've gone through pressure and the heat of a kiln. How do you make a diamond? Coal before diamond. First time I saw that name, it jumped out to me because unity over kiln's heat was on my brain when I was 19. I met Art Cole about 4 or 5 years ago. It's been a while since I was 19. Matter of fact, time and a half again, I've seen 19. Work that out in your calculator. Rosebud, I see you. Mara Ben Israel, I see you. Ani, I see you. Hashem Yahavalahim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you all. Thank you for being here. Mahar Ben Israel, I thank you for coming back. I thank you for sharing with me as well. And I really do look forward to, spending more time communicating with you. Thank you for reaching out like that. Okay, we got swords crossed. Blue sign. Felicidad. Blue sign. What you celebrating? Hashem Yahweh Elohim. Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yom At Yahaba. For every day belongs to Adam. If each of us are a grain of sand, what can cause our unity? The test of heat, the test of pressure, because that test is going to test your character. In Proto-Canaan, is it 22 characters? If you go to Psalm 119, each character is assigned 7 verses, starting with Aleph, going on to Bait, Gamel, Dalet, and so on, all the way to Tav. If you look at Psalms 119, for each of those characters, there are 7 verses associated to that character telling you what that character is really about, what it represents. If you put all of that in somebody's name and their shem and their authority, it is said that that's the type of walk of life that person is going to be doing. That's why you don't name your child until they've been here for a second and have personality. Some of us have gotten away from that. Matter of fact, no, I did not wait 7 days. My wife and I discussed what our children's names were going to be way before they even came. One of the children, I was given a part of his name when I was 16 years old. And of course, he didn't get to this world until I was 23, going on 24. That's a whole 7 or 8 years for it to bake up here, right? We're at 15% on the battery on the device over here on TikTok, so we're going to wind it up and close it. We pretty much covered the bases the way we were supposed to. I'm satisfied. If there's anybody who does have questions, you're welcome at any given moment. That's why the title says question and answer. I don't just save that for Sunday. The comment section is always open for questions or comments as long as it's pertaining to the subject. Yes, the subject is going to always be ethics and entrepreneurship. Yes, there's always going to be one of 10 special interest groups that we will talk about. We spoke on 5 in this past week, and there's 5 more to go. Each of them will always have their own assigned day for us to discuss perspectives of ethics and entrepreneurship pertaining to that particular group. Because I'm a promoter, I'm here to tell you about organic marketing strategies. And you wouldn't know it because of all the time that I'm taking to tell you about standards. Oh, it's solid and official now. The YouTube device has 10% battery. You're done. It's over. You're done. Game. Kohelet Kofi Ofori exposed me to characters in Psalm 119. When I open up my Quran, at the very beginning of the Quran, of each of those surah, of each of those sections, not every one of them, however, some of them have some characters at the beginning of it. And when I went to find out what those characters meant, oh, they gave me a nice fancy name for them. But then they told me nobody knows what it really means. It's a mystery. Now, me being me, yes, I did go look up the characters in the Farsi tongue to see what they were, and I found out what they were. I lined that up, but at the time, all I knew about was modern Hebrew. And then I saw these other symbols, and it says that, yes, this is the original Hebrew. The modern Hebrew traces back, and there's a couple of changes between the original Hebrew and modern Hebrew. But at the time, I was 19. And I put all kinds of stuff in my notebooks. Yes, I'm ambidextrous. I write with my left hand and my right hand all at the same time. Let's go. Get the information. Well, I could only retain so much at that time, so even though I took it in, I had to hold it there. Go and experience life so that I would have a place meant for the information in order to apply it. Because you can have all the information in your head, it doesn't mean anything until you apply it. Then you are knowledgeable because you're involved in it. Because like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of different definitions for knowledge. To know, as far as intercourse is concerned, has nothing to do with the to know that you see when someone says, oh, I'm acquainted with that person, or I do have an awareness of that information. It is not the same as intercourse. So while people come to you talking about, oh, it says to know, and then, sometimes somebody want to go up to a young lady and say, I want to know her, then stop it. Stop it. How many words are in the language that you actually speak where the word itself might have 18 different definitions? Stop it. You're being taboo for no reason. You are being in the gutter for no reason. Go look up the actual language. Go find out. You'll find out that those different meanings actually have different roots, different words, not even the same pronunciation. Find out. That's context. Find out what the original is. That's what I did. That's what I do. And so can you. But darn willing, let's meet up tomorrow. Man, tomorrow never come. You sure right. In another 20 to 24 hours, a darn willing. Let's meet up again. Ashim Yahav Alahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Shelly Dawn, I see you. Bienvenuto, welcome. Thank you all for being here today. Shukran. Gracias. Grazie, grazie. Asante. Spasibo. Scusi. Scusima. If someone comes to try to agitate you and pull you off of your path, in that event, you have a choice of how you will react. My choice is to make it a teaching moment, whether I have to teach myself something or express a message to teach everybody involved, including self. I was one of those precocious children where every time somebody looked up, they had to tell me to stop doing something. Not that I was doing something bad or haram. It's just that I was doing something that they thought that my little body and young mind was not prepared to take on yet. Get away from that. And by the time they look around, I'm already back over there, and I finished up whatever it was I was trying to do. Got on to the next thing. I was born into this world like that. I have been protected by Yahweh Elohim and my family, my friends, those who I call brothers and sisters, those who have taken the promise. What's the promise? La ilaha illallah. There's only one to be worshipped, only one to serve. And it doesn't matter what language you use. It's shown by your actions. You are known by your fruit. There are people in my life that couldn't tell you not one Bible verse. But if you put their heart on a scale, and weighed it compared to a feather, the feather's going to drop like a ton. And that heart's going to rise. And it didn't take somebody telling them on every other day how they're supposed to follow this rule, that rule, and so on and so forth. They were born with empathy. They were born with compassion. Let love lead and guide you. I heard something earlier today, and it made me think. The reason why it made me think is because I had to think about what I was hearing. Now, anava is focus. Achaba is love. The thing is, love is your heart and law. So you're telling me it takes Allah and Vav to really show how the heart works, because it takes Allah, the Father, the head of all bodies, and then the heart. It takes a working mind along with a heart that pumps blood to push your hormones from the adrenal glands up to your brain to be in one communication, to show compassion and empathy. Hashtag kindness is contagious. Go out there and be the reason why somebody else has a smile on their face. Be commissioned like this. I come from the Father. I shall return to the Father. May the Father be pleased when I return. Why? Because we all come from the emerald throne room, the green throne room, where there's only one on the throne. And even the one who shows us how to live, the Messiah, in all examples of him, Allahu Salih wa Salam. Our Father's peace to all prophets and martyrs that have already come before us and showed us the way. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. Ameen. Go out there and perform acts of kindness in the name and the authority of the one who owns and made everything. That is your commission. Didn't come from me. because it's already been said. Anything that comes from me is because it's building off of that blueprint. I'm not going to get in front of your face to tell you about what's coming from me. I'm going to tell you what was sent to me, and I was told to be a vessel, whether I'm the one using my own hands or to show you how to use yours. And with that, I'm closing out. You all have a great day and another great day afterwards. Make sure that you're part of somebody else's great day. Hashem Yahav Elohim, Shalom Barak, Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Many much love and respect to you all.